What is the absolute best way for an INFJ to grow? Stick around because we're going to answer that question and more on today's show. So what is the greatest opportunity for an INFJ to grow? Well, simply put, it is the second cognitive function for INFJs, or what I like to call mindset, which is extroverted feeling. And extroverted feeling is a process that focuses on other people's feelings and emotional states. It's concerned with making others happy and maintaining the harmony of the group and making other people feel comfortable and welcome and just caring for others in general. If you intentionally work on this skill, it'll lead to more and better opportunities, better communication skills, better relationships, healthier relationships, where you're being more frank and honest, but you're able to impact people in a positive way with your insights and ideas and a host of other benefits. But the thing about this function is that it won't develop unless you intentionally invest the time in developing it. So we're going to take a look at why this function is your greatest opportunity for growth. And then I want to share a few ways that you can develop it on purpose so that you can really grow and become a more well-rounded, balanced INFJ. The first thing to keep in mind is that this function isn't your natural bent because you have another cognitive function or mindset that is, and that function is known as introverted intuition. First and foremost, you are an introvert. So as such, you're most comfortable with your inner world of thoughts and ideas. You already know this, but you need to be alone to recharge. And while you do enjoy relationships, you primarily enjoy that alone time where you can really think about the future, where you can theorize, and where you can make connections, to give a few examples of a way that this mindset works. So this is the reason why you were imaginative probably as a child, and why you like to dream, and why you like to come up with great ideas and understand the world and the way it all fits together on a deep level. So that said, you as an INFJ, if you're a typical INFJ, are probably very good at using introverted intuition. But the thing is, if you don't develop your extroverted feeling, you'll never be as happy as you could possibly be because you won't be able to help as many people as you possibly could. You can't just keep all of the great insights, ideas, and connections inside your head. You need to be able to share them with others who need them. And the best way to do that is through a function known as extroverted feeling. Before I go in depth explaining several ways you can develop your extroverted feeling, it's important that I say that you'll be tempted to try to express your introverted intuition through your fourth cognitive function known as extroverted sensing. Each personality, including the INFJ, has 4 cognitive functions arranged in a hierarchy, the first of which is the strongest, and the second is the second strongest, and the fourth is the weakest. Now, the fourth function is always a temptation for every personality type, including the INFJ, because it holds this appeal to each of us. It's often a source of pleasure and enjoyment, and it holds great hope for us, as Dr. AJ Drenth of PersonalityJunkie.com has explained. So you, using extroverted sensing, probably really enjoy being outdoors, and you probably really enjoy beautiful art and excellent music and great tastes and visiting new places. Any kind of beauty that you can experience in the moment is very enjoyable to you. You see, the problem is that when you have to focus on using extroverted sensing too often, it overwhelms you. So if you've ever been to a party with lots of loud noise, lots of lights, lots of action and people, that might be really stimulating to someone who uses extroverted sensing as their number one cognitive function. But you, using it as your fourth one, just want bits and pieces of it as a reward. You don't want to use it all the time. So for that reason, you will always be better off expressing your ideas, connections, and insights through extroverted feeling, because it's your second function and you have way more conscious control over it than you ever will of extroverted sensing. And I would like to give credit to Personality Hacker for this insight, because I first learned it from their excellent video. So if you haven't checked that out, you should definitely check out their INFJ video for their insights regarding this topic. So now that we've discussed why extroverted feeling is the best way for you to grow as an INFJ, let's get really practical and look at a few ways you can develop your extroverted feeling. And the first of which is through writing. Now, writing is a great means because it gives you as an introvert time to think, process, and organize your ideas. And you need to be able to do these three things in order to really communicate clearly. That doesn't mean that you won't be able to communicate clearly through speech, because you can certainly develop that ability. But perhaps the most natural way to communicate at first, and the least pressured way to do it, is via writing. So in order to strengthen your extroverted feeling, make a habit of writing and sharing your thoughts. It might be in an email, it might be in a blog, it might be through a note to somebody else, but write out your ideas. And don't just stop with writing. Make sure that you hit the publish button or hit the send button or hand it to someone else. But make sure that you're sharing the insights, ideas, and connections that you come up with, because ultimately you don't want to just keep them in your head. You want to put them out into the world. You can push yourself a bit further by connecting with others in one-on-one settings or in small groups. Now, this is saying that you should spend time with friends, but I'd like to encourage you to connect with some new people, some people that you don't know yet, and that could be through a shared interest. So if you're into photography, maybe join a photography group, or if you're into writing books, join a book group, or if you love the outdoors, then maybe join a hiking group. But connect with some other people that you haven't met before and work on building relationships. That's going to get you to stretch your extroverted feeling, especially as you go through the work of connecting with people that you haven't gotten to know yet. A third and perhaps even more challenging avenue for developing your extroverted feeling is to do it in a larger group setting. So, for example, you probably have to go to work parties, or you're expected to go to them in the same way you're expected to go to family reunions. In both these settings, there's a social obligation to show up. If you're part of the group, you're going to come and you're going to show your face. And if you're like me, then you really don't enjoy these settings, at least being in the middle of the mob. But consider going and connecting with people that you wouldn't normally talk to and relating to them. Just keep in mind that you don't have to stay the whole time, and that if you need a break, you can leave, and that if you need some downtime, you can go toward the corners or the quiet places where everybody's congregating to recharge. But I really encourage you to go out and to meet with everybody, because it's going to get you to share and to exercise your extroverted feeling and to take the ideas that are in your head and express them clearly. If you really want a challenge, consider organizing a group event and organizing a group of people. A good way to do this would be by teaching a class on a topic that you love. So for this sort of thing, you'd have to organize everybody, prepare the assignments, and deliver the content. That could be a good opportunity for you to exercise your extroverted feeling, but it could also come by organizing an event for everybody. So maybe throwing a party for your friends or family members or somebody at work. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing this all the time, because it's going to be really draining and a definite challenge. So maybe after doing this, plan some downtime, but it would be a good way to really stretch yourself from time to time. In the same way, public speaking would really stretch you as well. Although I must say I really enjoy public speaking, oddly enough. And I think a lot of INFJs do. I've met several who enjoy it because it, like writing, gives you time to prepare your thoughts, organize them, and practice until you reach a certain level of acceptability or perfection that we tend to hold as INFJs. But consider public speaking too as a way to develop your extroverted feeling and get more comfortable expressing the ideas, thoughts, connections, insights that are inside your mind. And I'd like to leave you with this final idea. Perfection is the enemy. You're going to want to say, I can't do this until I have it just so, or I need it to be perfect, or I need to have this amazing standard. Don't give in to that. Put yourself out there even when it's uncomfortable, because I love what Andy Stanley says about this. He says, some of life's greatest opportunities are on the other side of fear, and you'll never make the fear go away. In fact, oftentimes that discomfort that we have when we're trying something new is a good sign that we should do it and follow through with it, and it'll lead to a lot of great opportunities. Furthermore, when you take what's inside your head and you share it with others, you're going to be helping them in significant ways, and you're also going to be fostering your growth in powerful ways as well. So I really encourage you to do it. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway is a book title that I really agree with. And that would be a great way to grow and to stretch yourself as an INFJ. Want to learn more great ways to grow as an INFJ? One way to do that is to get a copy of my recent book, The INFJ Personality Guide, in which you'll learn about the processes that drive your personality, and you'll also learn ways you can reach your potential and live a life of purpose. I'd love to give you a free copy of this book, and you can grab one by texting the letters INFJ to the number 444999. Or you can visit ispeakpeople.com/INFJ-personality-guide to grab a copy today. I wrote this book so that you'd understand you're not messed up or broken, but just different, and the world needs to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you found it helpful. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I encourage you to do that. I'm creating new content each and every week for INFJs just like you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.